a war going on. The books can't escape from the cold of morning steam. It's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, good morning and a happy Merry Christmas to you all here. Welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Thursday, December 25th. Thank you for joining me here. Merry Christmas. Hopefully, you're getting up to all the gifts you wanted with you and your family right now. Thank you for joining me here on the show. I'm here. I'm ready to go with our 8-game card today, including a little bit of action here today. Man, what's going on with all right, there we go. I don't know what's going on with me here on X. Hopefully I'm okay. Am I coming through? I'm looking pretty funky here on X right now. Is there something wrong with me? Are you guys getting this on X? Am I working here? Welcome. Thank you for joining me here on the show, everybody. We're going to go over probably just my phone, right? We're going to go over the 8-game card. We're going to talk a little NFL. We're going to talk a little NBA and anything else we can come up with today in the world of sports and sports betting. Let me know, and we'll try to cover it here on the show. But hey, we've got a great show lined up for you. It won't be here very long. I think we can get the work done in about an hour or so. And I want to hear from you in the chat. Thank you for all the salutations here, and good morning to everyone. We're going to have a great sports betting day. How about the action last night at the Hawaii Bowl? Mele Kalikimaka. Hawaii, as Hawaii wins 35-31 over Cal. We had the winner here on the show. The winner with our premium picks. There was no show yesterday, but we gave out the over here with our winnable selection yesterday with the game. California led 21-0 with 5 minutes to go in the first half, and you knew it wasn't over with Hawaii. And their quarterbacks were able to come back and negotiate it and come back to win there 35-31 with a backup throwing that 22-yard touchdown pass with 10 seconds left. And both quarterbacks did a good job there yesterday. And Second Politelli, also pretty good for Cal, 343 yards and a touchdown. Ashlock of Hawaii, big game, 14 receptions, 123 yards and 2 touchdowns. Don't mistake the other Mountain West teams for this situation with Hawaii there at home. Hawaii's not great either, but they were able to come back on this Cal team because there was a lot of momentum there with the Rainbows and Timmy Chang and company getting it done over his former teammate, Nick Rolovich, there. And I guess, talking about in the chat there, the fight, the helmets thrown. That's not very nice. I mean, Hawaii came down there. You could probably look to blame both teams, but was a crummy incident there at the end of the game. So, all right, let's say hello to the folks in the chat and then get rolling here. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully everyone's gathered around here and I'm on your big screens. I want the gifts over there at the tree and the kids playing over here. Hopefully everyone's watching right now. We got 4 dozen of you here ready to go on Christmas morning. It feels like a gift to have you guys here with me. Timothy Hawk was able to join us here to start us off. Good morning. Merry Christmas to Duke. He's there. He is. Duke's talking about the incident there at the end of the game. Those coaches really like each other, actually. Coach uh, Rolovich was in there after the previous Cal coach was on his way to another destination. So, Jake Parma here today. There's Blake. Good morning. Bobby Mack. Thank you so much, Bobby, for all of your support and being here every day, and your gifts as well. Thank you, Robert. And you make this show a lot funner for me, as everyone in the chat does as well. But special thank you to Robert here this morning. Merry Christmas. Irish King, good morning to you. Merry Christmas. And hey, everyone, like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube. We'll have no live coverage today, but I want everyone to enjoy. And thank you, Irish King. I don't know. It looks like just my phone was probably acting funny, huh? Johnny Walker, man, how you been, Johnny? Great to see you in the chat and NYC bar. Merry Christmas as well. So that was it. I mean, not much went on there. Do want to recap some of the action from Tuesday, since I didn't see we did have a lot of wins here on that show, by the way, before the holidays. So came through with some nice winners there with our NBA college card and NHL on Tuesday. So thank you, everyone. Also with the re-ups and the subscriptions over at winnable.com. And I've had my plays over at winnable.com today. I just want to announce a little bit of a format change here as we turn the page on the holiday season here and get ready for another year. But going to start to include more prop action, and I'm heavy in the props today, and really just sending out all props as a kind of a note here. With our change, you'll still get some of the great picks, sides, and totals with me, but I'm just going to start to expand it a little bit here with some of our options. Don't want to limit myself in trying to bring some winners to you, so you'll see more props in the future with the package over at winnable.com. I think it'll be fun and hopefully profitable as well. So check it out today if you're a subscriber and want to get everyone involved here with the package over at winnable.com with myself. Mikey and Jeff as well have their products there, but we'll just start to do a little bit of a change in the format. You'll get more plays. Probably just was not able to bring enough plays. I mean, nobody wants regurgitated information. So definitely going to expand it a little bit and bring you more complete coverage, especially with my expanded coverage of the props on our shows and everything like that. Since there were no shows today here with our Thursday coverage, thought it'd be a good idea to come on in here and bring some prop action here on Christmas today. So really think that's going to be exciting for me to be able to add a few more products in there right now and make it a lot more fun, and hopefully winning there. Don't have to press a little bit on some of those sides and totals. So really appreciate it. Go over to winnable.com /Ramon and use the promo code STEAM there to save 20% off all premium pick packages with me. And that should be pretty cool there. All right, man, I was going to maybe even give maybe we could do a little gift and do a promo code here with Christmas. Man, would anybody like that? Let me know in the chat. I haven't done it yet, but wait, we could have it up there before game time today. Maybe we could give everyone a week here for Christmas and just do that and have everyone be able to check them out. That sounds like a pretty keen idea. Let me know if you guys are interested in that. Okay, we can get rolling with the show here right now and get our 8 games together. That should be awesome. And Nick, hello, he's got the props there as well. And Var, I think he's happy about it as well. I know Var's a subscriber, so he doesn't need any freebies out there, but he deserves it with all the great participation from all you guys. Thank you so much to everybody again, and Merry Christmas. Okay, here we go. Let's get ready to go. We're going to start with the NFL because they've barged their way into our lives here on Christmas. We've been running some Christmas games here with the NFL now, but it does seem like they got what they paid. They got what they asked for, right? I don't say the games are crummy or anything like that. We have a couple teams obviously in a playoff uh, contention, and of course, whew, man, getting that sleep here on Christmas, and of course with the Broncos, going into the playoffs. So yeah, just ended up with some teams that aren't really qualified here for the postseason playing on Christmas, but we get a little uh, present with the games, I guess. All right, the Cowboys will be on the road taking on the Commanders here, and these teams are going nowhere, of course, but to play in Washington. At least got a rivalry game here between these two with the Cowboys on the road. Man, favored by 9, maybe 8.5 here in a few spots here today with, the Commanders. Hey, you could just take your pick here a little bit, like I said, and with the games a little bit not so great. Maybe the trivia question: who are Josh Johnson? Who is Max Brosmer? Who is Chris Oladokin? And the quarterbacks that are for the home teams today here on this card for the Commanders, a veteran Josh Johnson, 9 career NFL starts, but he's no spring chicken. You talk about the old quarterbacks, Josh Johnson, not like we're going to say, hey, let's put this guy in there and see if he'll be good for our future. Johnson's 39 years old, appeared in nearly 4 dozen NFL games in his career, but just 1-8 as a starter in his career for Johnson. Commanders are just 1-9 straight up and 2-8 against the spread in their last 10 games overall, but Dallas has lost 3 in a row. Just when it seemed like they were about to turn things around, they lost to Detroit, Minnesota, and the Chargers, all in must-win games. They became more must-win as the as the weeks went along, and they just couldn't get it done. Actually, to finish here with a little bit of a thud after they had come up with a little bit of momentum. Dallas is 2-6 against the spread this season as a favorite, but Washington's 3-9 against the spread as an underdog here. And these teams did meet, of course, earlier in the season back in October. It was 44-22 in favor of Dallas. They covered easily, winning at home as a 1.5 point favorite in that one. The Commanders here, 13-20 against the spread. Their last 34 games off of a loss. They're 5-8 against the spread. Their last 13 NFC East home games. Dallas has won 7 of the last 9 meetings between these two teams, including 3 of the last 4 visits into Washington. Also, the overs come in for the last 5 meetings between these two clubs as well. Dallas in their last 3 games have allowed 44, 34, and 34 points, respectively. And they're just 2-6 straight up on the road this season, 1-3 against the spread. Their last 4 games as a road favorite. Cowboys are 5-10 against the spread, coming in off of a loss, although they are 8-5 against the spread. Their last 13 division road games. Dallas has gone over their team total in 6 of their last 10 with 1 push. They're also 4-1 to the over in their last 5 road games coming in. I don't know if there's going to be much many traffic stops here between these two. You figure Dallas's offense is in a prime position against a Washington team that finished among the bottom of defenses here now because of this. Just all season the Commanders' defense hasn't been very good. We know that. So you guys can start to chime in here a little bit, but I'll go with my pick here in this one between Dallas and Washington. Dallas has gone over in 5 of their last 6 games, including the 5 straight on the road. Washington also over in 5 of their last 7. 4 of the last 5, as I said, have gone over uh, between these two. And I just think with players like Javonte Williams here, set up for a big game with Dallas in the backfield, Lamb and Pickens, they'll probably show up now that the season's over. We know Pickens has been up and down, but you know what? When the chips are no longer all in, it's probably George Pickens' time. Ferguson in a great matchup as well. Dallas has a terrific matchup all over the place today. I'm going over in the full game here at 50.5 with Dallas and Washington. You know, Josh Johnson, he can at least move the ball a little bit here, and he has the ability to scramble even at 39 years old. And, you know, it's a pretty good matchup for some of these commanders like Terry McLaurin here, probably in pretty good position. Maybe Debo as well. We'll see what they can do in the backfield. Washington's run game has been pretty disappointing for sure with Bill Merritt and Chris Rodriguez in there today. So I'm going to go over 50.5 in this one with Dallas. Big number there for sure. Again, Dallas, they're done, nothing to play for. So why would they even, you know, other than, hey, let's wrap up our season. Dak said he wants to go out there and play with some pride. But again, you don't need to stop anybody in a game like this if you're out there to showcase your offense. Let's see what everyone's doing in the chat in this one. And you know, Nuke, he loves misery with the quarterbacks, and he's going to take them both to throw an interception. VAR, though, going under here. And Jim said, man, it's always been the NBA on Christmas, and now here comes the NFL, right? You know what? I thought about it, Jim, though, too, and I'd rather have more sports anyways, right? Why not have a few NFL games? They can't all be great NBA games. And especially when we're coming off a card like yesterday where we don't get any games. Greg says the Cowboys are money here. He likes them to win by a couple. Blake on the Cowboys as well. Robert here on the over in this one. And Irish says these games don't even mean anything really, except for the Detroit Minnesota game playoff wise, right? And Denver still wants to make sure they get a strong position there. Robert on the Commanders though here in this one. D Money is here. Good morning. He likes the points with Washington. He says if Detroit loses somehow and Green Bay wins, Detroit's eliminated from the playoffs. I've got Detroit on the edge, right? We'll get to that one. But, yeah, even if they don't, they could still not make it. Greg here says Cowboys take him to the woodshed and win it by 11. Fernando Mendoza likes the over in this one. Want to say hello and good morning to Wrong. He's right. He says Washington plus the points. Merry Christmas to Ronnie Otachi here. Bobby Mack says he wish he has more AFCON African tournament of unders, although there were a couple of overs there yesterday. But Ronnie likes the Commanders here. And Greg says he likes the Panthers and the Canes here. Is that from the other day, or is that tomorrow, or what? And Johnny says, hey, do a Wong teaser with the Cowboys and the over. You go Wong, you might not be wrong. There, and Greg liked Hawaii with that comeback. All right, I'll give you another second or two to sound off if you'd like, but I'm going to go with the over in this one between the Cowboys and the Commanders here on Christmas to get us started. Remember, this will be at 1 Eastern and 10 Pacific. The basketball actually starts a little earlier than the NFL, but get your day started at noon Eastern and 9 Pacific. All right, Power Critters here, and he likes Washington. All right. Keep it moving here now with our NFL action here. 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific with an NFC North matchup. They're all division matchups here on Christmas. You got the Minnesota Vikings, winners of 3 in a row, by the way. Right? I know, we know they're done. We know that they've got Max Brosmer in here. They won last game with Brosmer. JJ started. Brosmer had to come in, of course, but Minnesota's doing it. And, they're really what they're doing it with is the defense. The defense has played very, very well here down the in these games. They needed to win these games, and they did. Unfortunately, it's just too little, too late for the Vikings, and now that's the Lions hanging on by a thread. They got a 7.5 point spread here. The games are just, the teams are just decided by one game technically. Here with Detroit 8-7, Minnesota 7-8 coming into this one. So yeah, you know what? The Lions have moved a little bit higher from the opener, and actually they were only like 3.5 point favorites before we found out that JJ McCarthy wouldn't be starting. These games, remember, had the spreads kind of up a little bit longer because of the holiday, because they were Christmas games. I mean, these spreads have been out a long time, actually, throughout the months here, or throughout the weeks here leading up because of the special holiday games. So, got Detroit here though, losers of 2 in a row actually right now. Back-to-back losses here for the Lions too. The Rams and the Steelers. They did beat Dallas, of course, at home, 44-30, lost to Green Bay before that. Detroit is 6-4 as a favorite against the spread this season. Minnesota 2-4 against the spread at home, a 3-5 against the spread as an underdog. So for the Lions here, they are 4-6 in their last 10 games after that 1-4 start. Do know that we're seeing the injury report come in here right now with the St. Brown, Montgomery, and Graham Glasgow, offensive linemen, all probable here for Detroit coming in. And good news there with St. Brown. I think we knew he was going to make this lineup. He said it was probable yesterday. Montgomery, good to be in there, but he was ill, missed practice or didn't practice much or at all yesterday. But you still have Montgomery Gibbs combination there. So see how you guys have it. The Lions are known for coming back after a loss and winning, although they didn't happen last game, right? Still 13-2 against the spread their last 15 as a road favorite, 11-2 last 13 coming off of a loss against the spread. Also 8-2 against the spread their last 10 NFC division games on the road. So for the Vikings here, their offense has been pretty good. We'll see, though, with Brosner in there, the former Minnesota Golden Gopher, in here. They Vikings scored 31, 34, and 16 points last week. It still was enough in that win over the Giants on the road. Before that, they beat Dallas. They beat Washington. And Minnesota here, 3-7 against the spread, their last 10 division home games. The Vikings have held their 4 of their last 5 opponents to under 300 yards of total offense. So the defense has been solid here. You could say, you give Goff a second go round at a defense, maybe an even a Flores-led defense that maybe it doesn't hurt him as much. But this total has dropped big time. You see there to 43 because of the change at quarterback, I think, in here for the Vikings. So that's a pretty significant move. The send out was 48.5 or 49, but and the look ahead line as well because of the injury there to McCarthy. So Vikings won 27-24 in week 9 at Detroit. They were an 8-point dog there in that one. So look, you'd think that maybe they could hang in there. We'll see what Brosner can do. He didn't do much. I think his quarterback rating was very, very low. Total QBR was like 5 in that last game, but I'll give him a week here as getting the full reps at practice. We'll see what Brosner can do. Detroit's won 4 of the last 5 in this series. They've won the last 2 times here to Minnesota, 31-29 and 30-24. This series has gone over in 10 of the last 12 meetings between these two teams. So, look, with not much on the line here, I think that's where the defense kind of suffers here. And I'm actually going over in this game between Detroit and Minnesota. I'm going to take advantage here, I think, of the reduction in the line in this one. Yeah, they may hold Brosner down a little bit, but at least Minnesota's still at home. And you figure with, I don't want to say their weapons are necessarily limited here because, like I said, you still have for Minnesota here. It's a good matchup. You just have an inexperienced quarterback. But you'd think with Jefferson, with Addison, it's not a terrific matchup. But Naylor here, yeah, he's gotten shut out in 3 of his last 5. The other 2 were breakout games. So they're missing Hawkinson. They have offensive lineman injuries here as well for Minnesota. But starting to get some good news in there a little bit. We'll see. Ryan Kelly, I think he's going to be out though, and he's their center. So just some real issues here. A little bit. Jordan Mason is out as well. So Ty Chandler, we get word now that he is probable to play. That is going to be a big boost, I would think, right now, just because you wonder with Aaron Jones, he's no spring chicken out there, and he's been kind of injured with an ankle, but he's expected to start here, I would think. But behind them, now at least you have a little bit of addition there with the injury update that just came through a short time ago. So, look, Minnesota's got a defense that really has done some good things this season. I would say almost a playoff caliber defense. And it's going to be tough for Goff, for St. Brown, who's, coming in injured a little bit. Jameson Williams can have a decent matchup, but the numbers really say that it is a tough matchup for Detroit. I just think the total's gone down a little bit too far for me, and I'm going to have to go over here in this one. Detroit's 8-2 to the over as a favorite. Minnesota's 5-3 to the over as a dog. So I'm going to say a little bit of too big of an adjustment. I know everybody's going to be down on this Minnesota offense. Let me hear from you in the chat with this matchup here. Detroit's gone over in 5 straight. Minnesota has gone under in 6 of its last 7 games, but 7 of the last 8 meetings between these two also have gone over. And we mentioned some of those games. Here we go. Lions revenge spot, says Power Critter here. And or maybe it's the Lions. And look at Nuke. He's just piling on. He loves interceptions. Could you sit and watch the game with Nuke? Greg here says Detroit to crush. He's got him by 12. Wow. In that one, Barr likes the over. And Andrew says, these aren't just backup quarterbacks. These are 3rd-string quarterbacks. Jim Deweiger says, do I start Addison? Probably got to know the other options here. But look, I don't think that the Vikings are going to be going down swinging without, even with Brosmer in here. Probably was called Brosner there, Brosmer. Roberts on the over, Irish King by 14 here. And Greg says, Minnesota just might as well just tank at this point. But, they finished with kind of too good of a record to tank too far, right? I mean, they're not exactly getting a great draft pick. Andrew G, Vikings are cheats. All right. Let's see here. Andrew was on the Vikings last week. They barely won, but they did win on the road, right? And that's the thing. I do think that the Vikings defense has done a pretty good job. But like I said, I'm still on the over, but I'm trying to give them a little bit of credit. It's a tough matchup, I think, actually. And Detroit here minus 7.5, says Blake. I kind of agree with this, but Minnesota still can't win on Christmas. Meltdown. Lions team total. Oh, hey, welcome to Bally on a budget. Bala on a budget. I got you, Bala. To read that one twice. Thank you, Bala. Nice to have Bala on a budget here in the chat. Awesome to have you. Great job being a member of the chat all stars here. All right, I'm going to take the over in this one. Look, I think that the Lions probably should get this done. If they don't, be really a disgrace here. I just wonder about Brosmer a little bit because of his poor rating in his appearance last week against the Giants, albeit on the road. Flea Mathis, Merry Christmas. Thank you for stopping in here in the chat. Thank you. And Bar says the over is the best play in this one. Yeah, look, that's a pretty big adjustment. And like I said, I think in games where the season's over, I think and look, it's not over for the Lions. We know they're barely breathing, but they need to win and then get all kinds of help really in the end. Right now, the NFL site says that the Vikings are down here now to the Lions are down here to a 9% chance if they win this game to make the playoffs. That's if they win. There's still only 9%, currently listed as 6% to make the postseason. All right. So it's football, man. It's pro football. Denver Broncos, Kansas City Chiefs here on Christmas. So the Broncos on the road. This will be the Chiefs. What a week it's been for the Chiefs. I mean, not only 14-point dogs here right now, not only is Patrick Mahomes out for the rest of the season, not only is it Travis Kelce's final home game ever. Get ready. You're going to have Tay probably crying up there in the booth there at the end. How will Travis do today? He's got probably out of the whole situation here with the Chiefs, he might be the one guy that they can count on today. It's just a matter of will the Broncos, how much attention will they focus on Kelce here? And you've got Chris Oladokun in there at quarterback. Now, Oladokun has a kind of a championship pedigree or a strong pedigree from college, but still he's got another third string quarterback in here right now after Uncle Rico went down as well. And look, this is about as tough a matchup as you can design here for the Kansas City Chiefs right now. Still might be tempting to take 2 touchdowns at home, but it also might be 31-0. It might be 31-7. Something in there. It could be a blowout city. It feels like to me. I don't know if the Chiefs are going to do much here outside of Kelce. At least get the ball to Kelce as frequently as you can. His total is, I think, his catch total is 3.5 today. I think it is juiced to the over, and 2 trains of thought. I mean, I'm not making a play necessarily on it, but it is probably the best possible matchup that you could have for Kelce here. Not that Denver doesn't have the best defense. They're just not great against tight ends. It really is their Achilles heel a little bit. If you had to look at all the previous matchups, the tight ends have been somewhat successful against this top-rated defense. But against the run, I got them number 1. Against number 1 receivers like Xavier Worthy, they usually shut down number 1 receivers. They usually are pretty strong all the way through against wide receivers here. So just looks like too tough of a matchup for me. I think the Chiefs are going to get blown out of this game. The other caveat on this, the other bad news here this week to really put a damper on things is the Chiefs are moving in 6 years, but still they're done here in Arrowhead. This loyal fan base and look, Kansas City just said, hey, we've had enough. We're not – look, Pro sports. I love pro sports, right? We love pro sports, but cities got to stop giving away, billions of dollars to football teams to fund public stadiums. These franchises have all the money, let them pay. But there are still other cities that are going to say, hey, we'll take a pro team in our town. We'll sacrifice repaving our roads for a few years. We'll pass the bill on certain social or public works services, if you will. Really, a lot of these cities have had disasters because of bad stadium deals. That's a lot of money, man. Billions of dollars over a short time frame, and these stadiums are only feels like they don't last as long as they used to. The stadiums used to last 50 years. Now it feels like 20 and we're out of here. So we know that Arrowhead's been around for a while, but that's another story. All right, let's hear from you in the chat in this one, and I'll roll some numbers here with this one as the Broncos had their 11-game winning streak snapped this week. Maybe that'll motivate them as well. Denver just 2-8 against the spread in their last 10 games on the road as a favorite. 0-4 in that role this year. Underdogs have covered the last 7 games that the Broncos have been involved in. A couple times they were actually the dogs in there to a few teams recently, including these Chiefs. Remember, imagine that just 5 weeks ago they were 4-point dogs at home to the Chiefs, and they covered in that 22-19 win. Of course, they also won and covered at home against Green Bay, part of that winning streak, and then lost to Jacksonville, of course, at home last week as a 3.5-point favorite in that one. The Chiefs are out of the playoffs for the first time in 11 years, and now they're moving to Kansas City. So first start for Oladokin. He was 11 of 16 for 111 yards there in his action last week. The Broncos are 6-9 against the spread their last 15 division road games. Kansas City 18-28 last 46 against the spread, coming in off of a loss. They've gone under their team total in 7 of their last 8 games. Kansas City's gone under in 9 of its last 10. They're also 1-7 to the under at home here. Denver is just, as I said, 2-8 as a favorite against the spread, 2-4 against the spread on the road. And let's hear from you guys in this one. Broncos are 0-9 straight up in their last 9 trips here into Arrowhead, but circumstances are different here in this one. 5 straight meetings between these two teams have gone under, and we've seen this total here now down to 36.5. I'll go to the chat and see what you guys have in this one with the late game. First 2 are on Netflix, and then this one's on Amazon. That's why we have Thanksgiving games. I mean Christmas games there, right? Get these other guys a package. All right, here we go. Let's see what's going on here. Dirty Red says, what happened to Cal Bears last night? Oh, they lost 35-31, Dirty Reg. Hawaii came back to win. Ball on a budget. Lions team total over there on that last game there. Oh, I think we got those. Here we go. Oh, there was Flea's group there. Oh, Mike Humphrey, thank you. Nice to see you in the chat. Hey, I'd be here on Christmas morning. Here's the bar. He's on the over. Baller on a budget. Broncos team total over. Denver team total for wrong. I think he likes it over. And Andrew G says the Chiefs haven't been this big of a home dog in decades. Nuke says, be careful here. The Broncos may go to the bench after getting a big lead today. Chiefs lost 31-0 to the Titans. I mean, how are they going to hang in here, right? Greg likes Denver in a blowout. Robert likes Denver in a blowout. And Andrew G says, could you imagine this? Kansas City Chiefs are moving to Kansas, and the Chicago Bears might be moving to Indiana. I guess with Kansas City, that still makes sense, right? But let's see here. Yeah, Titans beat them by the. Yep, not to be confused with that. What was that 31-0 game I'm thinking of? Robert here with the over. Johnny Walker says Kelsey at least 4 receptions is minus 182. Oh yeah, that's too much there, especially if that's a push on the 4. Broncos here for Balla on a budget. Says same deal as last year when Carson Wentz was in the game. Uh, Greg says last time they won where Christian Okoye was in the game and Derek Brooks was in there. Baller on a budget says Sutton anytime touchdown. Look, Sutton probably is shaping up for a pretty big game here today. Hello to Lando in the chat. And Travis, look, they're going to get the ball. I imagine you'll see some frustration from him as well. Jags here, though, says, I think Jags is liking the Chiefs, so he says 24-13. He's not sure how they'll get there, but that'd be a cover, wouldn't it, for the Chiefs? I got to go with the Broncos here to drub these guys today. Give me the Broncos here over the Chiefs. Chiefs are they failed to cover here now in what 7 straight games coming in right now. 5 straight meetings between the two teams have gone under, and Denver's gone over in 4 of its last 5. I did total another one of those where down here to 36.5. Look, we've had question marks with Bo Nix, and look, a lot of people say 1 week Bo Nix is good, the next one not so good. I think right now, as a in here in his second year, given the fact that he's had some pretty big games, I think Bo Nix is going to be all right in the future. He's got it. I think Bo Nix has got it. Some games it took him a while to get to this point, but I think the development is good enough here in his second season. I think we could say that Bo Nix is going to be just fine as this team's quarterback in the for now and the future. Irish King likes him by 17. Steve Eleftherian, and Merry Christmas here. And right, Greg, after all the losses here in Kansas City for the past decade, you get a chance to win. You're not going to let up, and you're going to pummel that opposition. It feels like to me. All right, Irish King says you got maybe McLaurin here. I think that's Javante and not Jameson, and Franklin of the Broncos for a TD parlay. All right, that might be it for you guys in the chat. I guess we have to move on to basketball and have a great day watching the NFL games here today. All right, now, let's go to the NBA __ 5.5. There we go. And let's look ahead here to our 5-game card. This one's at 12:10 East, just 2 hours away from our Christmas sports today and the Knicks. Although I watched the game last night. Did anybody watch the Sydney Kings crush there last night in their Christmas game over the Australian NBL last night? Shout out Mikey Money. He had the over on his winnable picks there with that one. And the Kings, the Sydney Kings rocked there last night over the Iwara Hawks, 108-84. There was some action in China as well. All right, let's get to the NBA with the Cavs taking on the Knicks here. What a game. With the Knicks here at home, favored by 5.5. Total 239. 240.5 now with these two. Did just get an injury update here this morning, just a few moments ago, with some news here. What was it here? Uh, Yabusele is upgraded to probable for the Knicks in this one. Brunson's probable. Ananobi's back here. Those guys missed last game. You know, Evan Mobley, we still don't know, but he's moving towards possibly getting in there. Listed as questionable here right now. Could see the return of Mobley here. He's missed a few games, and he could make the lineup today. The news is good. It's just that he might not quite be ready with that calf injury. Moving close, so maybe we'll get that update. Cavs have won 2 straight coming in here right now. Wins over Charlotte and New Orleans. Good on them because they hadn't really been playing very well before that or all season. We know it's been strange. The Cavaliers are actually a few games over 500 here this season, but still one of the worst spread teams in the league. 9-22 against the spread, 4-8 against the spread on the road. The Knicks, meanwhile, are the best spread team at home in the league at 14-3, also 17-9 against the spread as a favorite. Cavs are only a dog for the 4th time this season. They're 1-2 ATS as a dog. But the Knicks, this is their role, man, at home. They've been really taking on everybody and knocking them out. Crushing teams at home currently this season are the Knicks. So also some of these numbers here, they are just 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 games. And mentioned their great home record. They've actually failed to cover in 2 straight at home. They did beat Miami, but didn't cover 7.5, and then they lost at Minnesota last time out, 115 to 104. We had the Wolves actually in that one. Knicks have gone over in 4 of their last 6. Cavs have gone over in 4 of their last 6, but this series goes under in 11 of the last 13 meetings. And the Knicks really are a slow-paced team. The Cavs are the one that actually likes to press it up a little bit, which is kind of out of the norms for the Cavs, right? We think of them as a little bit more deliberate, but not necessarily. Now, I know the scores show, especially these last 3 games, all went over for the Cavs. I'm just talking about the season-long metrics. The Cavs are kind of the over team, and the Knicks, not so much. But I think just throw in the series history a little bit with 11 of the last 13 under. You throw in a 240 in there. I'm going under for sure in this game with the Cavaliers and the Knicks. Teams met back in October. They only went for 230 points, and that one 119 to 111. The Knicks got the win at home as a 1.5 point dog in that game. But I'm going to take the under here in this one with the Cavs and the Knicks. It's the Knicks that like to be, more deliberate here. They're the slow down team, in my opinion here. Cavaliers just 1-6 against the spread in their last 7 games overall coming in. Knicks are 14-2 straight up at home. I'll go to your plays in the chat here and see what you've got. David Wallace, Merry Christmas as well to everyone. Irish King. Okay, David says he's got the Knicks here. Irish King likes them on the money line. VAR likes them on the money line. Irish King says Knicks first quarter and first half. Robert likes the Knicks Balla on a budget. He likes the Knicks minus 5.5. VAR says the Knicks are the best team in the East right now. Robert says he'll go over in this one. Philly Eagle Flyer. Good morning, everybody. I think, is he saying LFG or is he saying Liverpool Football Club? Okay, Greg says Cleveland is money in this one. He likes them to cover this spread. I think he likes them to win. And Knicks ain't beating them today, says Greg. Bo Jackson likes the Cavs on the money line. Merry Christmas to Bo. Oh, man. Hey, if Mobley makes this lineup, I think that's going to change things dramatically. I also think the spread will move if that's the case, and it'll probably come down here to uh, closer to a 4, I would guess. But we got to see if that happens here. Certainly would like to see him get back in the lineup, and certainly would like to see the Cavs play a little bit better this year. They're just not playing what we were expecting by the Cavs so far. They're truly one of the biggest disappointments in the league so far this season. All right, give me the under in that one. All right, the Spurs are taking on the Thunder here on Christmas, and what a game, right? And boy, the Thunder are 10-point favorites. That's the Spurs. They're not very good, right? Look, I know we got the double revenge factor, but come on. I mean, the Spurs are one of the best teams in the league. Now, I know that heard all night, all morning about the Thunder and, having lost those last 2 games. Why wouldn't they blow them out now? I mean, they've been beaten by them. It's because the Spurs are good. Okay. And that's just it. The Spurs are darn good. And they beat them, of course, in that big Cup game and beat them the first time as well, 111 to 109, and that was at OKC. The Thunder has a Spurs problem, in my opinion. Now, look, they can probably focus here and get it done. Maybe there's some letdown to it as well with the Spurs here, but look, the Spurs are 8-4 against the spread as an underdog, although they're 7-9 against the spread on the road. Thunder 9-6 against the spread at home. But look, funny thing is, right? You look at the Thunder. We all know they're having this incredible season at 26-4. They're still only 3.5 games better than the Spurs this season than that 22-7 spread record. San Antonio has covered 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams overall. Oklahoma City 6-3 against the spread in their last 9 games. Spurs are 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 games coming into this one. Spurs have gone over in 10 of 17 road games. They're also 7-5 to the over as a dog here, but this one just keeps climbing up. It seems like to me all the way up to 234 here right now. The send out in this game was 227, 228. It's supposed to be a pretty high scoring game here, according to the move here anyway. Now the real issuance of the line. Remember, this is, again, these games have been on the board. Christmas Day games have been on the board forever. If you took these totals way back when, you've got so much CLV, it's not even funny. All these totals from the openers way back before the season are about 10 points higher because of what we've seen in the NBA this season. This game was 227 on the send out. Now it's 234. Or the opener back before the season, because Christmas games are up there before the season. The Knicks and the Cavs were 229.5. Now it's 240.5. The Mavericks and the Warriors are 225.5, and now it's 228.5. That's been the lowest of the moves, the slowest. The Rockets and the Lakers were 224.5. Now we're at 232.5. And the Wolves and the Nuggets were 229. Now it's 239. That's just the nature of what's been going on in the league so far this season. So I don't know. I feel like the move's gone a little bit too far with this game. I think we're talking about 2 elite teams in the league here, and I think that lends itself to a little bit of defense somewhere, please, with this one, with Wemby in there and protecting the rim. Let's see what you guys have, though. Look, I mean, the one thing that the Thunder has is they're the best defensive team in the league. Okay, they are in my opinion. I think the metrics prove that as well. Let me go to the chat here with this one and see what you got. I'm going under. I mean, I can't not go under. I just think the Thunder. Look, if you think the Thunder are going to come here and smoke this game, maybe I'm wrong about this. But I think anybody, and I think I like the Spurs, so I'm kind of double speak a little bit. But I think if you like the Thunder here, you're on the under, right? Shouldn't you be because of their great defense? Or are they going to go off now? Shea can go off because they really, when you got Fox in there. Um, Look, Fox, I know it's a tough matchup for him too. I don't think he'll get anywhere close to his numbers actually, but um, it's good for Shea, and that's about it. All right, let me go to the chat here. NY, here's Bar. He likes the Spurs. Ball on a budget, liking the Spurs. San Antonio for Irish King. Okay, see, maybe I was just watching too many of the talking heads, CBS Sports, all the big shows, telling us, oh, the Thunder. But again, I don't know. I feel like they're overlooking the fact that the Spurs are such a good team. They'll be fighting all the way. I guess there's a scenario too where they fight all the way and fatigue in the end and still don't cover, right? And see, Greg says it. He says they beat them twice already, so they're going to come back and crush them. That they might do that against a bad team. It feels like, right? Roberts on the Spurs. Too many points, says Bar. Power Critter. Spurs here. Greg says his prediction here is a 14-point win. All right, look at that. What Irish King said there, and look at what he said here about all those games, right? And Greg says they're going to crush the Spurs. Greg does not have any. Is it just because of the revenge there, Greg? Does that really motivate teams to want to go blow somebody out? Okay, let's see here. Var says it might be an under game. Irish King says 3 of the 5 lines jumped up 2 points overnight. All that Christmas, hey, huh? Right? Bar says it won't be a cakewalk. Nuke says, "Look, Nuke says, all right, I'm a sports bettor. If you're gonna dangle 5 NBA games, I'm gonna have to play them." Right, Nuke? Or we wait? Ball on a budget likes Williams under 25 and a half. Also, yeah, I agree with that. I think ball on a budget. He also likes Holmgren under. Let's see here. Okay, Johnny, I have not hooked up the Discord to it. I don't know why you got an email. I know I was screwing around with it one day, but I have not done the. I think I'm pretty good at technology. I'm not very good at Discord. Anybody who's with me in any of these Discords knows. I mean, I struggle with the DMs in there. I don't know why that is, but thank you for asking about that. But you're not missing anything. I have not hooked up a Discord with mine, although it is very popular with a lot of the winnable creators. I just don't know how to do it. I've tried and I keep screwing it up. I guess I could ask ChatGPT to help me. All right, Dirty Red here, there, and again, I think what it does, it just publishes the pics to there, and I know we could have some chats in there and everything, and I'm trying to get something together for us so that I can publish more information. I have so much information, but nowhere to write. No one will hire me. I'm trying to, do content, gambling content somewhere, and I can't even get a website together to do it. I mean, I'm a website producer on another. I can do like WordPress. I'm trying to get a place where I can do my write-ups and articles and picks, but I just can't find the right place to do it. No one has anything for me. All right, Greg says that's his team. I think he says the Thunder. Holmgren under for baller on a budget. Okay. Maybe it was a different Discord, Johnny, but I have not had my own Discord. I've been members of other Discords, but mine is just blank. I have it. I have it. I've started it. I just can't get it hooked up. Okay. Thank you, Irish King. All right. Got another go. Hey, we're not done yet. Merry Christmas to JW in the chat. Next up. All right, the Mavericks are going to take on the Warriors here in this one. And the Mavs here coming in. They're getting 8.5 from the Warriors. And yeah, it's been a rugged season a little bit for the Mavs, but oh man, just every game with Cooper Flag here. We're going to see this guy in a few Christmases in the probably every Christmas here in the future with this superstar. Still Warriors, big favorites here. I mean, uh, I don't know what's going on with the Warriors are terrible. I mean, okay, they've won two in a row. They're a 500 club. They're pretty dreadful. Saw that incident with Draymond last game. What a joke. I mean, what a loser leaving the bench like a 4-year-old last game. And even Kerr accepts some, Kerr in his talk, right? He's going to make it as soft a landing as possible for Draymond, but really it's all Draymond's fault here. And the Warriors aren't very good. In fact, Kerr said in that post-game press conference, look, we're a dying dynasty. We're a fading dynasty. That's apparent to everybody. That was Kerr's quote there. So I don't see, Curry may go off. The more Curry goes off in this game, I think the more Dallas has a chance to cover in some wild, high-scoring game with the young rookie maybe matching him stride for stride in this one. I don't think the Warriors are very good here at all. In fact, they might lose this game, quite frankly. Dallas is coming off the win against Denver. Maybe that's it. Maybe they'll come in off about too high of a game because of beating the Nuggets last time out. I just think it kind of shows their promise. Look at the last two wins for Dallas were against Detroit and Denver. Now, both those were at home. Dallas is maybe struggling a little bit on the road, but they're 14-8 as an underdog, even though they're 6-7 on the road. The dog roll has suited them just fine. So I like them to come in here and maybe even win this game. I'm going to take them plus the points here today against Golden State. I think they're live for sure here. Golden State definitely they're worthy of their record at this point. I don't see the Warriors getting anything together here this season and all of a sudden putting together a winning streak. It's going to be a season of mediocrity for the Warriors. They haven't covered anything, really. They just blasted Orlando for like their best performance in 2 weeks. Before that, they were on pretty much a streak of non-covers. They did rebound to beat Phoenix after they lost to them, but they didn't cover in that one at home. And their spread record has been pretty crummy, actually, here of late. For Golden State, 1-4 against the spread in their last 5, 1-5 against the spread at home in their last 6. Now, Dallas has lost 7 of the last 9 meetings here, but Dallas has covered 8 of the last 11 meetings overall against Golden State. So I've got to take Dallas here to cover for sure. 5 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams have gone under, but Dallas has gone over in 4 of their last 5 on the road and 8 of their last 11 overall. So I got the Mavs here in this one to cover, and I'm going to sprinkle the money line too. I think they're live here as probably my favorite underdog of the NBA card today. Let's hear from you in the chat and see what you got. All right. And here we go. All right. Thank you, Johnny. Yeah, maybe it was the Bookie Killers. I'm in the Bookie Killers with the guys, with Sean and those guys. So maybe it was that one. Let's see, Greg. Don't do that, Greg. You better get here even if the Thunder doesn't cover. No excuses. Jerry, New York in a blowout. Maybe a little round robin parlay for Bar, huh? Curry to dish out the assists here. Look, it's a great matchup for Curry. I try to point out, what I think are great matchups on a day like this, and I think Curry here has one of the better matchups on this it's easy to pick Curry. I'm not going to necessarily pick him, but he's always going to have some inflated numbers today. But we know how good he can be on Christmas, and uh, it's weird. Why would people? I know that it's a focus game, but we always refer to how they've done on these Christmas games. It's kind of been why do we do that? I don't know, but uh, Blake here on the Mavs. Bar likes the over here in this one. Irish King says take the points. And let's see, he'll take the Raptors on Sunday over the Warriors. Robert likes the over here. Mavs are wearing green uniforms today. Is that the one, Bo, where remember the hat, the M and the cowboy hat? Are they wearing those retro green uniforms like the old Mavs? Who would I say? Who could we equate? Who was on the Mavs back then? Dirk, obviously, but trying to think of some other Roy Tarpley. That's a bad. Just think of Roy Tarpley in those green uniforms. Uh, let's see here. Warriors by. He says Warriors by 10. Greg likes. Man, Greg and I do not get any of the games. We're totally off here. Butler here going under. All right, and. Let's see. Greg's not impressed by Dallas. Greg, you got to see this guy, Cooper Flag, man. This guy is like a generational talent. He is going to be an all-pro player for years to come. He might even make it this year, all NBA. He's really good. You got to see this guy. He went to Duke. He's really good. You got to see this guy, Cooper Flag. Sean Bradley. You got Jason Kidd, Jamal Mashburn. You got Mark Aguirre, DePaul legend there, and those green. Remember the M and the M, the cowboy hat on the M, the green and blue theme, right? But I think it's going to be those other. Yeah, it's going to be. I've seen those green uniform. We'll see today. Why can't we have? I thought the Christmas uniforms were a great idea. Why did we get away from those? I liked those a lot. Now we're just going to wear some retro. Maybe they'll wear their regular uniforms. These are the ones that are supposed to do the cool uniforms. Everyone, complained about them last time. Let's let them wear. They got 10. Everybody's got 10 uniforms. Derek Harper here. Okay. Mavs had some good teams. Remember? Okay. Oh, you don't worry about that, Greg. You don't worry about that, Greg. Look, it was a freshman, and yeah, he probably did too much on that play. But if you ain't watching, you ain't watching. Okay, Rolando Blackman. Oh man, there. Did you guys really come up with that back to back like that, or is Ball on a Budget Chris Burner account? How did you guys do that? Popeye Jones, that doesn't count. All right. I'm going to take the Mavs in this one. All right. The Rockets are going to take on the Lakers tonight. Both teams have lost 2 in a row coming in. The Rockets lost to the Kings and the Clippers, and before that, they even lost to the Pelicans. They did beat Denver in there in revenge for a loss. Both those games are on the road. In fact, here's the problem a little bit with Houston in this game. Houston looks to be the popular side with the public, and I get it. They really got a good defense. They lost to the Clippers. Maybe the Lakers lost to the Clippers too, obviously, and they lost to Phoenix. But maybe the Clippers, now that Harden's healthy, maybe they're going to play a little bit better. The Rockets are, unfortunately, spent the Christmas holiday here on the road. They're on a long road trip that has gone to Denver twice, New Orleans, Sacramento, LA, and they're still on the road, and it's Christmas. So to me, I think it's wearing a little thin. The Rockets may be the pick of everyone today because they're probably the better team than the Lakers right now. I don't know. The records don't necessarily say so. The Lakers have the better record, 19-9. Houston 17-10, and the Lakers have had injuries off and on, and they're healthy for this game. We know they've had some injuries here with uh, Austin Reeves was injured. He's back. Luka was injured. He's back. LeBron's not having a problem, at least serious enough to keep him out of the lineup. Hachimura, he's probable as well. Sengun he's got the biggest injury question of this game. He's questionable, and I don't know if Sengun is going to make this lineup. So I think it's just public popular sentiment. And if you guys want to take the Rockets, that's fine. But I'm going to be on the Lakers today plus the points. I just think, bummer days, right? Maybe it doesn't matter these athletes, spending the last week or so here on the road. More than that, it's been almost 10 days on the road right now for the Houston Rockets and spending Christmas on the road. Remember, I don't want to say it like this, but young athletes this age, a lot of them have young children. So I'm going to take the Lakers in this one plus 2.5 points. That's going to be good enough for me. There's some definite numbers here that kind of say the Lakers will be all right here. They're 8-5 against the spread as an underdog this season. Yeah, they're not covering many games here right now, but neither are the Rockets. Lakers have failed to cover 3 in a row here, actually, with losses to the Clippers and Phoenix. They did beat Phoenix, but then the Suns got them in revenge at home. We were on the Suns in that game. The Lakers are an uncanny 11-0 to the over at home so far this season. 10-3 to the over as a dog. Houston's 16-9 to the over as a favorite. 12-5 to the over on the road. Maybe the move is right in this one as far as that total is concerned. 11-0 Lakers. And I'm not saying that these totals aren't high. I agree with you. In fact, 232 now, you guys mentioned, right? But where's the 240 in this game? With basically the biggest over trend in the league this year. I see 2 other games with a 240 in this one, but is Houston's defense is that good? Is that what it is? Well, I'll argue they've also been on the road here for 12 days. Is the defense going to be coming at it here on Christmas against the Lakers? Apparently, this old man LeBron, he's had some success on Christmas. The Rockets, they're still kind of learning about their success, so maybe I'm leaning back to the old school Lakers a little bit. Tate is questionable, DFS questionable here as well for the Rockets today. Let's go to the chat and see what you have to say in this one. Houston's gone just 1-4 against the spread their last 5 against the Lakers. Lakers still, like I said, struggling for sure, but struggling to cover anyway. Here we go with your picks in the chat. Houston's gone over in 6 of their last 7 games overall. All right, here we go. Jawan Howard, says Greg. Was he on that? Was he on the? I'm sure he was. He played for some teams for sure in there. Chris said, when Dallas came to town, right? That image that kind of coincided with the Cowboys a little bit. I loved the blue-green color scheme of the Mavs. The heavy emphasis on the green. Before I thought it was nice. I had a Dallas Mavericks warm-up jacket, like one of those kind of looked, silk. It's like the warm-ups. I thought it was cool, the cool colors. So I had it when I was probably in my late teens, I want to say. VAR is on the Rockets here and over. Doubles. Merry Christmas to you, Doubles. Great to see you in there and doing a great job with your picks as well. And again, Merry Christmas, Doubles. Okay, Greg here. He likes Houston to cover in this one. Robert likes the over. Ball on a budget says he'll take the Lakers money line if Luka plays. No indication that he wouldn't. He seems very probable. Just because he is on the injured list. Seems like he's good to go here. Bobby Mack on the over. Chris is with me here on the Lakers. I think the money line too. And Greg says Lakers usually a good play on Christmas. Like I said, LeBron, he embraces it, right? He embraces the um, Philly Eagle Flyer. Good luck. Good luck. Thank you. Lakers money line for Blake. You guys see it like I do, okay? Because look, I don't want to be here and dictate the chat always. It's just that it seems like everybody that maybe I listen to the wrong guys. Seems like all the shows I've been watching and listening to, it's all Rockets. All right, Blue. Hi, Blue. There you are. Yay, Lakers here. Also, Cavs and Spurs. Man, I hate to move on because we're going to be on the last game. We got a great audience here right now. We got 100 of you watching here live on the Sports Money Network. Good morning and Merry Christmas from me to you. No problem, Blue. I think you said you were going to be gone for a couple of days, I thought you said. So great to have you back. Well, I'm down to the last game here, and I don't want to leave, but hey, we did take care of it here. Maybe we went a little bit longer than an hour, but let's get to the final game of the night. And a good one at that. With the hot Wolves here coming in, winners of 3 in a row, taking on those Denver Nuggets. Oh, they're cold, man. They've lost 2 of their last 3 games. But they were to Houston and to that Dallas team we talked about. They did beat Utah up in there. And, it's when Denver wins, they cover. When they lose, they don't. Well, of course, when they lose, they don't because they're never really an underdog. They have been 4 times, but they're favored here by 2 against the Wolves. I guess the Wolves are pretty good, huh? Denver, I don't know. I think the Denver Nuggets are a championship contender. The Wolves might be a playoff top tier team, but still, Denver just a 2-point favorite here. Like it's going to be the Wolves coming in here ready to wreak some havoc and make it a close game. Denver's just 15-10 against the spread as a favorite. The Timberwolves are 12-18 against the spread overall. They're 20-10 straight up, but 12-18 against the spread. It's because of as a favorite, they're not very good. They're actually an underdog for the 7th time. They're 3-3 ATS as a dog. It's just that when they're favored, they're usually favored by too many at home and that they don't get it done. They're actually 5-8 against the spread on the road. Denver 8-6 against the spread at home. The 2 teams, Denver won 2 meetings already this season in Minnesota, 127-114. Back on October 27th, on November 15th, it was 123-112. Denver got the win and the cover. Total here, 239.5. Denver's 19-10 to the over this season, 17-8 to the over as a favorite, and 9-5 to the over at home. Minnesota, meanwhile, 3-7 to the under in their last 10, but they are 8-5 to the over on the road. Minnesota's gone under in 5 straight games. Denver's gone over in 11 of its last 14 games coming into this one. So look, Minnesota at home has a tendency to go under a little bit more. On the road, they've been more of an over team. I think this one probably goes over actually at 239.5, and I'll probably go over. The last one, obviously, just only 235 points in Minnesota. But Minnesota's gone, like I said, 6-2 straight up in their last 8 games against Denver. So maybe that's part of the thought process with everyone. I'm not saying everyone's on Minnesota. I'm not saying that at all, but just seems like Denver's such a strong home team always, right? Especially, when you're going to 52-80 and still for Minnesota here. Look, like I said, they've beaten this team. They've beaten this team here in Denver. They won here last year, 126-116, or I'm sorry, 140-139 here in Denver last April in a wild game. Let me go to the chat and save me here think I'm ready to wrap up the show. Merry Christmas to you, Blue. Philly Eagle Flyer. He's only going to play the NFL games because he got to open up his gifts. Merry Christmas to Damon Waring there. Let's put together, Blue, let's put together an 8-team parlay with all 8 games. Chris, Merry Christmas to you as well. Thank you, everybody, for all the great salutations today. You knew I wouldn't miss this, and I'm so happy to have. I feel the love here with over 100 of you watching right now, and that's the best gift that I could ask for here. Nick's first half parlay with the Cowboys. First half for Gooey McDougal in the chat. Merry Christmas to Gooey. Blue says, does everything say Denver? Luca will play, says Irish King, in that Dallas game. T-Wolves money line for Blake. And okay, Philly Eagle Fly. I'm Philly. I'm waiting for the bad timing on my part, Philly Eagle Flyer. I'm hoping the old dispensary over here is open soon. I don't know if it's going to open today, and I might be having gummies for the games today. Greg here says Minnesota plays better on the road. Damon's got his games going. Why? Couldn't I gone before? The Lakers next. Dallas flag to go over. Shea to go over. Stop Geo. Hello to Stop Geo. And Merry Christmas to you as well. We could say Merry Christmas again here for at least 3 more years. Good luck. Greg says he's got Minnesota to win it right there. And Minnesota for Damon. Minnesota for Robert. All right. You guys liking Minnesota here on this matchup? All right. Right. Phil Eagle Flyer says, hey, we have the reclassification right now, right? We're going after the drug boats. Going after the... That was... All right. Spread's too low. Denver for the win. And right, Chris, there's been the move is to the Wolves. I definitely have to admit that. But I'm not sure I'm taking the over as my official play here, but I don't know if I'm feeling it with you guys on the Timberwolves here. I know Denver. Do we know the Denver Christmas? I don't want to say I didn't research it as a whole. I was just going off the general knowledge of like the Lakers have been strong on Christmas and whatnot. So I think Denver they've hosted Christmas before. I don't think they've won them all. That's for sure. I think they did lose 1 or 2. Okay. Let's see here. I think Philly Eagle Flyers talking about when he says girl, guess the girls cover, I think he means the Cowgirls. I think that's what he means. Timothy Hawk, thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, we've been pretty hot, a little bit hot on the winnable plays. And like I said, we're going to increase the menu a little bit. Hopefully everybody's getting their money's worth for 41 cents a day. All right. Damon says Pickens and St. Brown for an ATD there. And let's see here. What's SF Niner saying here? He says 100-mile-an-hour win. 100-mile-an-hour wins, not 100 SF Niner. Although I know here in Southern Cal and into Nevada, we got rocked pretty good. But 100 miles an hour. CD to have over there. And Earth to Air, the billionaire. Good to see you, Earth to Air, the billionaire. And he's got Merry Christmas. Good to see you, Earth to Bear, Earth to Air, the billionaire. Oh, man. Show's over. Want to thank everybody for joining me here on the Morning Steam. Man, I wish I had some more sports to talk about today so I could keep you around a little while longer. But hey, we got to go get our day started here. We're only, less than 90 minutes away from tipping off with the Cavs and the Knicks. So enjoy your families, make them watch sports. Hey, tell the kids uh, how to, tell them how they can, bet a little bit. Let's get them going so that when it's time for them to get older, I have no problem with that. As someone who, was betting at an early age, if you know what I mean, man, I was betting dogs when I was single digits. So I remember, uh, if you remember an old publication, uh, I don't know, you have to be old like me, but back in the late 70s and early 80s there was a magazine, in the preseason they have the magazines that come out. Now it's not as big a deal with the internet, but the magazines would come out in the previews, and you can look this up on the internet with the archives. I don't know if they publish this anymore. Game Plan magazine, right? And that was the first time I ever saw like power ratings, uh, and was trying to figure, just a kid, and I like math and I like sports for sure. I'd play whole seasons of Stratomatic baseball, and I'd take a random number calculator into class and play whole seasons in there when I'm supposed to be doing my work. And I had little cards so I could secretly play Stratomatic in class without having the cards. And I just remember this Game Plan magazine had the first time I ever saw like football power ratings. And then it also showed you how to adjust them. Now, this was crude at the time, but you got to remember, this is like 1979. And it would say like, you have the predicted score using the power ratings. You can see how it leads to what we do now. And if the team beat them by more than, I think it was like, 28 points or something, you'd adjust each power rating, 4 for one team and 4 for the other. And if it was more than a 21-point win, it'd be 3 for, and you do the offense too. You'd like 2 points on the offense, 2 points on the defense, and then you'd add up the numbers together. And I just thought that was so fascinating. And it sent me on my way to developing my own power ratings for every sport that I do, even when everyone teases me about my high school, and I don't bet it, but I keep power ratings, and that's how I make predictions and everything. So just so fascinating at the time, especially knowing where we are now. Let me see who's leaving here. We're about out of here. Stop Geo, thank you. And you'd have to look in the paper, right? Oh man, I every day I'd go to school, and I'd be reading the sports page. Funny thing happened to me in kindergarten. I'm telling these stories because I got 100 of you. So in kindergarten, I would take the sports page to work. I don't know how and I'd lay it out there and I'd look at it as a kid, and they were pretty impressed by that. After 1 week, they said, "Get this kid to the first grade." I didn't even go to kindergarten for 2 weeks, and I was in the first grade. No wonder my education was stumped there after a while, and I fell behind everybody. All right, Greg, thank you. We got more sports tomorrow as well. We'll see you then. And let's see here. And I was like, I'm not saying I was an Al Gore, right? But I was on the internet, man, and 1990. Remember AOL, and you dial it up there, and I remember betting on a site called Intertops. Greg, Robert, thank you so much, man. Really great. You're so important to me in this chat, and your support means so much to me. Thank you again, very, very much. For your gift and your support, man. Really, really, you're a special guy. I know that. So thank you. I don't want to heap too much praise on you. I know you're a humble person. So, VAR, no drawing today. Oh, you know what? I didn't turn on the drawing. I forgot. Oh my God, you guys. You know what? Okay, here it is. No drawing. Give me 15 minutes. At 11 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Pacific. I'm going to do it right now. Use the promo code. I'm going to type it in right here. We're going to make a promo code, And anyone with a promo code is going to get 1 free week of the plays here. Let me do it right now. Promo code Xmas, ha ha ha, and you'll save 100% on the on a 7-day package. How's that? That's what I want to do on Ramon's 7-day winnable package. Right now, I'm typing this banner up. Merry Christmas. Hopefully, hopefully we win. Use the promo code. Don't do it right this second. You got to, I didn't even do it. I'm making this up on the fly. 7-day free winnable. Use the promo code Xmas. I'm going to do it right here after we get off the show. So please wait. It won't work, but choose the 7-day and then type in Xmas. It'll give you 7 days. Take you right through the rest of the year here. So anybody who wants to check it out at Winnable there. And that's compliments of Robert McCormick, everybody, okay? And Merry Christmas. Bar there. Jolly Green, nice to have you as well. Nice to see you there. So no drawing bar because I blew it. You know what? After one day off, and I couldn't remember to turn it on. What a dummy. So let's do it. Free. 7 days for everybody. Use the promo code Xmas. Just give me a few minutes here to type it in. Blue, yes, no drinking. Here's a tail. So please be careful. My life was severely impacted by my mother's own drunk driving crash when I was in the 4th grade. And I'll never forget that night. And she was in a coma for 3 days and spent 3 months in the hospital. And then after she came home, we had a Mexican housekeeper helping us for 9 months as a single mom. But when you're in the 4th grade and something like that happens, you grow up pretty fast. I mean, I couldn't, 4th graders don't do, well, maybe they do the laundry and stuff, but I mean, making some dinners and doing things that, you grow up pretty fast. So always be careful out there. That's probably one reason why I know on the live show, you don't see me drink. I don't drink too much. Probably, I mean, I, might have a drink here and there, but that severely impacted me as far as, drinking because of that. And, she went on, she passed away at the age of 57, which is ironic because in just a couple of days here, I'm going to be tying my mom. So I feel kind of emotional about that. I'm going to pass her up, I guess. Arnez Little, good Merry Christmas to you as well. Thank you, Parma Jake. Thank you to AOD in the chat. Thank you to Irish King and Blake and everybody there. And is that here, Niner? I know I saw some weather issues here in Vegas just a short time ago, or in Nevada here. Jolly Green, thank you. And let's see who else, and that's it. Merry Christmas, thank you. And Trevor of All Trades, thank you for commenting on that. I know you're out there watching every time. And yeah, I guess the other tale about it was New Year's Eve. It was New Year's Eve, and I was with my dad, who, they were, I don't know if some people know the story that my dad, when I was born, was 61 and my mom was 21. So, it wasn't a marriage necessarily. It was a situation, but I was with my dad at the time, and then my aunt who had to call me and say, "Hey, we got to come pick you up because your mommy's in the hospital." That was an uncomfortable feeling. So, all right, thanks everybody, and even in my mom's later years, as I'm not saying it hurt my development or anything, but towards the end of her life, and I was with her when she passed, taking care of her. Her life deteriorated at the end kind of quickly. You kind of took care of her for 7 years. Actually, she was not able to work for the last, and I had to kind of at the end stages there, kind of do the caretaking thing, with the transfers and the giving her shots and things like that. But you know what? That's the way I wanted it to go down. I didn't want my mom in any kind of uh, uh, non. I hosted the hospice, all right, and that was 2004 when I lost my mom. So it's been a while. All right, uh, long time now. Okay, and yeah, I'm in right Niner, but I'm a native San Diegan. You know that. Thank you guys. That's it for everybody. Great to see you on the show here. And remember, uh, promo code Xmas. I want to see everyone who's never gotten the. Now be careful because it will after 7 days. If you don't cancel, it's going to re up you for 7. That's how it works. The disclaimer there, but take a look for 7 days. Maybe I'll convince you to stick around with me on the winnable. That's what we want to do. So Merry Christmas from me and Robert. He's paying. He's covering it, and use the promo code Xmas here, and I'm going to do it within the next 8 minutes. 11 o'clock is the timeline. I have 8 minutes to do it. So let's see. Everybody have a great day. I know I'm just rambling here, but just so honored to have all you folks here watching me every single day. And now it's a great day to spend a moment and thank you all. Hopefully all your families are watching me and said, who this goofball on the screen just rambling, making story and talking to nobody. But let them know that I'm your guy. Look, I'm your handicapper. That's the way I like to think about it. Hey, if we could pick them all right, we would. But you guys are here because you guys kind of believe in things the way I do, checking out those trends, checking out those line moves. No steam today? What happened? Hey, Dizzy Donut. Man, thank you, Dizzy Donut. So good to see a few people checking in here a little bit and saying hello. I know some of you watch and don't get the opportunity, and some of you like Dizzy maybe here today. Chicken and donut, man, that sounds good right about now. I've been up all night. I've had some sausage earlier, and we're looking at some gifts. So, really great, everyone. Eric Acevedo as well. Thank you. So, thank you, everybody. Again, we're back tomorrow with more Morning Steam. Also, pre-gaming resumes tomorrow. We're back on our little bit of regular schedule here, and maybe we'll have some action here. We know we're going to have action this weekend. It's going to be a great sports weekend, of course. So, all right, I'll quit talking and let you guys get back to your families and everything. Again, I'm just monopolizing your time because of the opportunity to spend a few moments with you here on a short schedule today. All right, there it is, Xmas, promo code Xmas. If I don't see like at least a dozen or more new signups here, I'll be disappointed. Make me feel good on Christmas and come get that 7-day package. See how it works. Get the plays to your phone and look back at the rest of the plays too. I'll show you here I'll find something else to talk about here real quick. All right. So what you're gonna see here when the plays you'll see the plays kind of come up here a little bit. There we are right there, and you'll see the plays. There, those are plays for Thursday. They're already up. I don't need to hide them because you guys can have free subscription here, right here. But there's all my props. Like I said, that's another thing. I'm going with more props now here also, so you guys can check out how we're going to do things here from now on. You'll see a little bit more variations of plays. I got a first half play up there in the Washington game as well. We're going to start to branch them out a little bit. We had the over in the Hawaii game there. Had some winners there in the NBA the other night. What did we go? I think 3-4-1, 4-2, 4-3. There's that NHL 4-0 that was mentioned there the other night. So you can see how it grades it too. You can see the winners here every day over there at Winnable, and the losses too, to be fair. But that always shows you in green there when they win. So I think that's a great feature too. The AI doesn't always catch it, but most of the time it does. They've really improved it, and it's a real nice feature there as well. So see how cool that is? And it comes directly to your phone, and you can turn on notifications and things like that. So really a nice feature and a great way to deliver more content to you guys. All right, I'm really getting out of here. Although I keep seeing right now more comments from you guys, so just going to look through them real quick before I send you out of here with everybody. Parma Jake, appreciate you. Greg, also thank you, Greg, for great participation in the chat all these months since joining the team. You've really done a great job for us as well. And Bar, right? We're running a conference play next up, right? We're next up, college basketball, March Madness. But, well, we got the college football playoff first. Slow down. All right, you guys, that's it. Let me go do it now. I'm down to 3 minutes. I got to get that code in for the Sports Money Network. I'm Ramon Scott. So long and Merry Christmas. Mele Kalikimaka.
For cover, that's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steal. Ramon Scott, sports money. Wake your ass up and let's get to